everyone, welcome to Korean Beauty Product of the Week. This week we're looking at this product here. It's by CosRx, it's their BHA Blackhead Power Liquid. Now this says on here, clinically proven to reduce the formation of blackheads and excess sebum is removed to hydrate the skin. But that doesn't make sense. I think this has been translated slightly badly from Korean and it slightly doesn't make sense, but don't worry, I'm going to explain everything that it does. Now, in terms of blackheads, this is what I use in order to reduce my blackheads. I don't use strips and I don't use physical scrub, and I'll tell you why. This is more effective. Strips, I find, don't tend to pull things so much out of my pores as just off the surface of my skin, and they make my skin on my nose very, very dry and a little bit peely afterwards, which I don't like. And I think because I don't have really big blackheads, they don't really pull the blackheads out. They just sort of leave them looking pretty much just what it looked like to begin with, which is annoying because it's a waste of money. And as for scrubs, scrubs again are working on the surface of the skin to exfoliate. Now, scrubs can help expose blackheads and remove dead skin off the top of blackheads so that blackheads are more exposed and easier to remove. But again, it's on the surface, it's not penetrating into the skin to clean out the pores. Whereas this Blackhead Power Liquid, BHA, that's beta hydroxy acid. Acid sounds scary, but I promise this is a very, very gentle chemical exfoliant. This penetrates into the skin. Now, this can make its way down into the pores and clear out sebum and dead skin cells, which is mostly what makes up the blackheads. So consistent use of this reduces the appearance of blackheads and cleans out those pores so that you get less blackheads forming. It's brilliant. Now, this is very gentle, as I said. I use it 2 to 3 times a week. What you do is you just squirt a little bit into the hand. It's very, very liquidy, and then you can just apply it to the face wherever you like. Avoid the eye area. The eye area is dry and sensitive. It doesn't have any like oil producing pores, so you don't need to put it on there and it will make your skin dry if you do. So really stick to the, other areas of your face, and particularly the areas where you have problems like the T-zone. Now, another good thing about this is, unlike a scrub, it's not going to take off the heads of any spots. Now, if you have acne or you are struggling with blemishes, if you use a physical scrub, it's quite harsh. You're risking knocking the tops off spots, exposing them. They may bleed, you may see some of the sort of pus or sebum come out, but exposing the spots makes them more at risk of getting infected. So really, if you have acne, you want to leave alone. You don't want to scrub off the surface because that could make it worse. So really, if you have acne, physical scrubs are probably not the best option. Whereas with the BHA liquid, it's very, very gentle. It's not gonna, expose anything. It's not gonna open anything to the air, make it bleed. All it's going to do is very, very gently remove the surface layer and penetrate into your pores to help, to sort of dissolve the sebum and dead skin. So you can use this product if you have acne. I had acne in the past, and this is what I used instead of a scrub. Now, another thing that is good about this product is that I have very dry skin, I have very sensitive skin. If I were to use a physical scrub, from my past experience, my face will be bright red afterwards, like really red and sort of angry looking, and it will take a long while to calm down. Whereas this is so sensitive that even though it is a peeling acid, it doesn't sting, it doesn't burn, it doesn't make my skin sensitive, it doesn't make my skin red. You don't even realise you've put anything on, really. It just feels a bit like a very liquidy sort of essence. I say it's slightly hydrating, it doesn't dry out my skin. It is, you wouldn't expect the exfoliating acid to be hydrating, but somehow this formula is a little bit. And it doesn't leave any sort of dry or flaky patches. Now, I told you earlier how using strips on my nose tends to make my nose very dry. Well, I have a similar problem using scrubs. I used to battle really dry skin patches all the time, particularly in this area here. And it would be a situation where I'd wash my face, I'd scrub, moisturise, try and put on foundation. The foundation would highlight all the flaky patches and it looked awful. I would take off the foundation, I would go back to my scrub, I would try to scrub again to remove the skin, and then I would try foundation again, and I'd have the exact same problem. And the scrub was so very, harsh and drying that whilst it was removing some of the skin, it wasn't removing all of it. And because it was drying the skin out, the flaky patches were actually getting worse, and I got into this terrible cycle where I basically couldn't wear any foundation because as soon as I put it on, all the flaky skin looked absolutely dreadful. And that was a really big problem for a while, until I stopped using scrubs. I started also using serums, which help because they penetrate deeper into the skin than creams, which sit on the top. But I also switched to using acids like this one. And this, I can't tell you how smooth my skin is now. I don't have any dry flaking patches. There's nothing that you put on foundation, you go, oh, because it kind of was stuck in the little bits of dryness and accentuated it. And it has really improved texture. Sometimes you get those little, they're not quite spots, but they're like little sort of bumpies, like sort of very sort of little bumps, but they're sort of deep under the skin, like they're not like a spot that's exposed. And they're really hard to get rid of. And this, I find, is my favourite product for that. Now, a couple of things about this product. Like I said, I use this 2 to 3 times a week. I have dry and sensitive skin, and that works fine for me. If you have less sensitive skin, you could potentially use it, say, every other night. I wouldn't use it every night. Because you are exfoliating your skin, and your skin only needs so much exfoliating. You don't want to go over the top and make the skin sensitive. Another thing about this is if you are going to use any kind of chemical exfoliants or retinoids, you need to be committed to wearing sunscreen. Now, I know a lot of people don't like wearing sunscreen because it clogs the pores, it can cause breakouts, it makes you oily, it feels greasy, it feels sticky. There are lots of reasons why people don't like wearing sun cream. In fact, tell you what, next week for my K-Beauty product, I'm going to give you my favourite sunscreen that doesn't do any of those things and I absolutely love. How about that? But yeah, even though I understand why some people don't like wearing sun cream, you really, really need to if you're using, or you need to anyway, I'd say, but especially if you're using like chemical exfoliants, because they do make your skin more sensitive to the sun. So it is really, really important that you use these just at night, and then in the morning you apply sun cream. And please don't just rely on the SPF that it says in your makeup, because really that is probably not going to be sufficient. You're probably not putting enough of that sort of caked on that you're getting the SPF protection it says on the bottle. So please use a special sun cream that is a sun cream if you're going to use a chemical exfoliant like this. But all in all, I have to say this is a brilliant product. It feels a bit of an exaggeration to say, it changed my life because, it's only skincare. But I used to feel really self-conscious about, when I had dry, sort of flaky grossness, and when I was struggling with acne, I felt very, very self-conscious. And this has really, really helped. It's made my skin a lot clearer. It's reduced my blackheads. It's really sort of stopped more blackheads forming, so my nose looks a lot better than it used to. And it's really removed texture for me. So this is, I've had this for about a year, you see, and I've used about this much product. So I would say that this, for what it does for me, is incredibly good value. I think this is supposed to expire after 12 months, so I probably need to order a new one. I shall make a mental note to do that later. I will put the price here, like I usually do, next to the product, because I can never remember them when I'm doing this. Yeah, absolutely brilliant, a gem, ride or die, can't live without it. Really, really, really made a difference to my skin. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope it was informative or, you know, helpful in some way, that it gave you a product that you might like to try out, I will put some links in the description box below to some more information about the product and a few places that you can buy it. You can buy it on eBay, I think I bought it. I think you can buy it sometimes on Amazon. It's pretty easy to get hold of, CosRx, for a Korean brand. It's pretty well stocked. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and go check out some of the other videos on my channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys!